Hey guys, how's it going? It's Rob Sutton with Bike 198, and yeah, another big brand started going direct to consumer, and we're going to talk about that today. So let's get at it. All right, guys, so as you probably saw all over the internet, Yeti Cycles decided to add an add to cart button on their website, meaning you can buy a Yeti bike straight from them, the manufacturer, online and get it shipped to your house. So this is not a new trend, but Yeti is kind of late to this market because they have been really protective of their local bike shops up until this point. So as a manufacturer, what is the upside to this and why did they do it? Well, first off is the obvious one. They can reach more riders around the country without having to have more bike shops. There are a lot of areas in this country that you just cannot reach, that you can get bikes in riders' hands that you couldn't have before. This isn't a Ford or Chevy thing where you have these big conglomerates that have dealerships all over the country, even in remote areas. You have to have these local bike shops that carry your brand to reach these riders, and by doing an add to cart on your website, you are able to reach more of them all over the world. And then the second thing is you get to keep more of your profits. If you're selling a bike at MSRP on a website versus selling a bike at MSRP at a bike shop, you're not sharing that profit anymore with a distributor or a local bike shop. You get to keep more of that on your own. So financially, it makes sense for a company like Yeti to sell direct to the consumer because they get to keep more of the profits they make on the bike. Now, there are some downsides to this. First off, you are shipping individual bikes to individual customers. What that means is you are no longer shipping in bulk 5, 10, 12 bikes at a time to a local bike shop. So you have to have more shipping people, more support, and everything else to handle that increased amount of shipments that come out of your facilities. And that also brings up the second point of you are now customer support for every individual bike that you ship out. Where it used to be that riders go to the local bike shop, pick out their bike, get it set up and everything right there in house. Now you're shipping individual bike to a person that they might have to assemble themselves, and they might not know how to work on all that well. So you have to increase your support staff because you are now supporting every individual rider that you ship a bike out to. So what does this mean for the rider? Well, now you have more options. You can get your favorite bike directly from the manufacturer when you might have had to travel a pretty long distance to find one that has a local bike shop that carried the brand you want. So for us, that just means we have more options. If you wanted a Yeti bike in the past and you didn't have a dealership near you, you were either looking at used or having to travel for it. Now you literally get it shipped directly to your house and you get the bike that you wanted without much hassle. Now, what is the downside? Well, there's the obvious one. You're getting a bike shipped directly to your house. So if you've never worked on a bike before or you don't like doing your own bike maintenance, it could be a little bit daunting of taking it out of the box and having to actually turn a wrench. Now, obviously, these bikes are almost fully assembled coming straight out of the box, so it's not incredibly difficult. But if you're not used to working on bikes at all, it could be a little bit nerve-wracking. And then there's the other part of this that some local bike shops might not be too happy that you bought a bike they don't carry. Now, I don't agree with this stance, and we'll talk about it in a little bit more later. But if you have a local bike shop that's going to take it personally that you didn't buy a bike with them, it could be harder to get service on the bike itself. So you might have to learn a little bit more bike maintenance and get to know your bike a little bit better if something bad happens. Now let's talk about the local bike shop. This is not a model that's going away. It's only going to grow over time. So they're going to have to kind of change their business model a little bit and really focus on service as a way to get people in to buy your products and other things in the shop, versus being that first touch point for wanting a new bike. It is actually a pretty good opportunity to actually form relationships with people that wanted another bike brand too. If you didn't carry a bike brand, but someone down the street did, they were going to where that bike brand was regardless of how they felt about the shop. So now if they get in a bike from somewhere else, you have the opportunity to help them set it up and service that bike, and that relationship might grow into the fact that they buy their next bike from you. So it really makes no sense on the local bike shop end to actually take this personally and actually take it as an opportunity to grow a relationship with a rider that you might not have gotten in the past. And if the local bike shop really treats this poorly in the very first beginning of that relationship for me because they bought a bike from somewhere else, you really are going to start to narrow your consumer base because more and more people are going to be buying bikes online. There's not much you can do about that. So when it comes to the local bike shop, you really need to focus on that service and forming that relationship, and it could be a customer for life when you would not have had that customer in the past because you didn't carry that brand. So guys, I want to hear what you think down in the comment section below. Is this something that you're seeing in your area a lot? What do you think about the entire model of selling direct to consumer? Also, what are you seeing as your local bike shop's reaction to this as time goes on? Hit up the comment section below. I want to hear what you have to say. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to Bike 198 for more videos like this in the future. And until then, on to the next one. Thanks guys, see ya.